So I'm gonna start some invites. It's 10:04, indicating the 2 zeros between the 1 and the 4, which is the 2 sevens, me being the third. So I'm gonna do some invites here, and we're gonna talk about the $1 trillion recovery project, because there's no redemption if you don't know how to conquer the enemy that is subjugating you. This is directly related to the worker strike. It's directed to everything related to us as people, overthrowing unstoppable force of evil that has been upon us for a very long time. So it took a lot of people, a lot of masters. As I said in the preview before I do this video, I said over $1 trillion, many years, and many masters. This program has been unfolding until we got to the point where balance can be established once again in our realm of existence, what we call the earth realm. And the earth realm is governed by, from the heavens, by what they call a galactic council seat, and that number being 50. And the holder of that seat in the earth realm has to attain the age of 50 years before they can claim their birthright of the seat. But it ain't just that simple, because there's a whole lot of life that has to be lived in that 50 years, both in real life and in research life. So you gotta pack a whole lot into a little bit of space, and it requires a certain type of character, a certain individual. It also requires the help from other masters in order to make it successful. The one that can put it all together would have to assume the responsibility of what they call raising himself. And what that means is that other masters cannot directly expose themselves to him as a master, but they can, what you call, bump and knock him in the direction he should go by throwing obstacles in his path. He has to figure out how to navigate these obstacles. And in the course of figuring out how to navigate these obstacles, you have to observe life and how it's lived. And once he observes life and how it's lived, then he has to listen to the grievances being vexed by the people. And once the grievances are understood clearly, then he has to go into a stasis state where he seeks to solve all of the problems that has been found to cause an imbalance in our realities, in our realm, the earth realm. And if he would attain the necessary wisdom by doing the necessary work, at the close of the age, he would come, read all of the signs, and identify masters. And as he identified the masters, that tells the other masters who he is, right? And as it begins to unfold, they know who he is, but in the early stages, he have no idea who they are or even that they are aware of him, and self-awareness is absent. So the struggle is to know the self in order to move to another level, in order to find out how to liberate the people from the oppression. So it turns out to boil down to money, $1 trillion, power, political position, and respect, mutual understanding between the two. So when it came to the money, the power, and the respect, we can fix this. We got the means to fix this if it falls in those realms. However, it's going to take a lot of silence and a lot of secrecy. It's going to take a lot of backdoor wheeling and dealing with the enemy in order to trap the enemy up in his own dirt. So let's dive right on into this video. Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, she will not do business with people that's going to sell out the worker. Mary Barra's loyalty is to the worker. Her position now as the CEO is to offer a lowball contract to alert the worker of something being wrong. Mary Barra want to give y'all what y'all want. Something wrong. If they will not offer a contract that requires you to strike, that is Mary sending us a signal that something is wrong in the board. Something is wrong in the meeting. All these consecutive years of record-breaking profits, she already knew, because there's a new stakeholder. And as Joe Biden told Gerald Lane, over $1 trillion in finances was spent in what they call buyback stocks. And this was to get us in a position where this is not business as usual. Mary Barra will give the worker what they want. It's not her. You were sold out. Something is wrong, and she's telling you. Her parents was UAW. She understands the struggle. She know what's going on, and she has that position for a reason. Something is wrong. You're being sold out. I'm telling you, flat out. I told y'all beforehand there was a system in place so that the worker can be properly compensated. I had to come work with the worker to understand the situation, circumstances, and the condition of the worker. Therefore, I got to look like everybody else. But I have to study the problem, and I have to be able to deliver a solution. So one of the first things that we had to figure out was how to stop these corrupt assholes from sucking the lifeblood from the people. We need positions on the inside. We need controlling interests in market stocks and market shares at all levels, from the highest to the lowest. So in order to be able to correct what was wrong, we set this system in place where if it was a sellout against a worker, that the company would offer a lowball offer that the IUAW cannot accept, because the worker already gonna know there's a problem. They can't accept that lowball offer. The problem is this: business as usual was not the case, because there's a new sheriff in town. There's a new prime stakeholder for General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. All three of them already know. They've been notified. They understand the nature of the beast we are overthrowing at this very moment. They are all in agreement that the worker will not suffer any longer, that the worker will not be victimized by big business and corporate America. We will not be moving into an oligarchy society where major corporations rule the world and suppress the people. It's not going to happen. Trump in on it, Putin in on it. Scroll down my page and I'll tell you who they are. It's not a secret. The only thing that was a secret is that we had to figure out a way how to conquer this beast in order to get the oppression off the people. So if y'all don't understand how to get the oppression off the people, then you're going to stay perpetual slaves. That era is over. This is the new era of Mott, of balance. This is the repurposing and reconditioning of our planet that has been being destroyed by these beasts for far too long. There is a system in place, and we can end the strike within 24 hours if the people understand that they're not being dealt with because of sellout agents that's trying to take under the table payments. Now, FBI is starting to root them out. They can't negotiate with a corrupt board. If any contract settled between IUAW and any one of the big three right now, would be a void contract because of the perception of an impropriety in the board. It don't have to be there, just the perception of it. If it looks corrupt on the face, prima facie is what it's called in law. If the corruption is a prima facie corruption, obvious on the face, well, it's obvious when all of those people that went down, that there's a mass corruption going on. Everybody didn't get paid in the same method. Some people took cash under the table in envelopes, large amounts of cash, some of them in briefcases, over the years. Find the last time the worker didn't take a recession. At least 30 years, minimum. And how is it that the corporations is making these record-breaking profits but don't want to share the wealth? Somebody has to figure out a solution to the problem. Now, when I came in, I asked them at the meeting when we discussed the MOU that I told them before the contract what was being done, and they didn't understand it, what I was saying, until the MOU came out. But I told them, asked their regional was in the building, and I said, who has a recovery plan for the worker? Nobody gave me an answer. So since nobody gave me an answer and nobody had a recovery plan for the worker, I put a recovery plan for the worker in play so that the worker will understand that they have the power. The power is in the people. It's not in the politicians. The politicians get their power by consent of the people. And the politicians give corporations their power by consent of the state. And the state is the power base of the people. The inalienable right of the people protects them at all times. But the rights of the corporation leave you vulnerable. And so as long as you are operating under straw man capacity as a corporation, and you are not exercising your inalienable right as a we, the people, right from the Declaration of Independence, there's forces here to protect you. But you cannot be protected if you don't know how to protect yourself. Somebody had to come in and see how the worker was treated. Somebody had to live just like every other worker. And somebody had to understand the condition of the worker by watching their coworker. And this is what the assessment was. Most of the workers in the 95+ percentile want to come to work and do a good job. Sometimes they get hurt on the job and the company treat them like throwaway, like trash. Mama said you can't throw people away like trash. I agree. And some of them don't operate on the same level with the same dexterity of hands and feet as others, but they're supposed to all function at the same level. Irrational. If we was all cookie cutters, then we would all be the same. We would all be able to do the same, function the same. We not. We are all the same as in essence, but we are not all the same as in ability. Where one person may fail, another excel. And them same two people will excel and fail in two different areas because they don't have the same ability. And so the worker is treated with what we call a slave plantation mentality. It's not going to be tolerated any longer. So as long as the workers can understand that when they unite as we the people, and your leadership who don't know what they're doing figure out that they can call the Justice Department and exercise the right, the inalienable right of we the people to protest and have law enforcement instructed under the inalienable rights of we the people by the will of we the people that they should not let anybody cross those picket lines until the strike is settled, because that's a public safety issue at hand. There is a we the people order at hand. But if you don't activate the law correctly from the position of we the people, then you are asking yourself to be stuck out of work for a prolonged period of time. The corporation will survive. They have the money that you don't to outlast you. They can shut down and lose the money and recover it as what's written in the laws by the corrupt priors. The company can recover its losses through tax exemptions and various other means. capital gains loss taxes. They can recover that money that they're losing, but it's going to be more difficult for the worker to recover the money. Therefore, we need a fair and balanced contract for the worker, and we would need a bonus sufficient enough to compensate the worker for being off this long, having to fight this fight because of the corruption and the people they sent to fight for them being willing to throw them under the bus and sell them out. So if you take the survey that's on my page, and I'm going to repost it to the top of my page, take the survey. If you agree, check the first box. If you disagree, check the second box. This is a tentative proposal from the prime stakeholder in all of the three corporations, Ford, Chrysler, and GM, to make the contract more balanced for the worker. The workers, there's enough of that worker suffering and worker struggle. And the corruption in the union, those who get those positions, the union need to be restructured. You don't get a position because you want to sit on your ass. Stop putting people there that's trying to be comfortable and put fighters there. You know, put people there like David Michael or Kelly Michelle. You know, stop putting them people in there that's clueless. Go ask any of them, what do we do? What are we supposed to do now according to the laws of this land? What we supposed to do? And they're going to look at you like, strike. No. They don't know the law. They don't know how to protect the people. They don't know how to activate the law on the behalf of the people. It is the responsibility of the Labor Review Board to ensure safe work practices in the contract negotiations between worker and company. It's to keep the corporations from becoming so strong that they overpower the people and keep you into a perpetual slave class. They only answer to Congress. The International Labor Review Board only answer to Congress. And since they only answer to Congress, that means they only answer to the collective body of the people. With your picket signs for your local, you should be stressing that every person with a job is affected by this event. It needs to be reflected as we, the people, are workers. And UAW represent workers. Therefore, UAW represents all workers. The McDonald's workers, the dollar store worker, the gas station worker. The General Motors contract is the canary in the cave of the miners. Let's check the weather. Let's see if it's time to establish justice or if it's time to disrupt the peace. It's not difficult. The companies want to compensate the people, but the company's been instructed not to do business as usual. It has to be different. It has to be out in the open. All them secret meetings and contract negotiations, the people had no demands. International got a list from the people of demands from various locals and went down there, and they did not issue a demand because they don't know what the people worth. If you don't know what you're worth, you don't know what to ask for. What this proposal has in eight issues to start the negotiations, but it's up to the workers to be creative and fair with the company they work with to make the company treat them fairly, but not try to sink the company. Most workers love the company they work for, but they don't like being mistreated, and they don't like being undercut on their wages. You have people that can't retire now, like Doug off Final, can't retire. You got to work a couple more years to get a little bit more money to have enough to retire. This is insanity. This is insanity. You know, give him a benefit package that'll help him in his retirement. They have no more pension plan. Well, there's a remedy for that, and that's going to be proposed later. Right now, the remedy is the 100-monkey effect with the striking workers before you can reach critical mass in the minds of the people that this is not a game and that the worker is serious about getting his cut. If the worker not serious about getting his cut, how will he ever get it? So, from a working class, blue collar father, you know, he gave me his 25th anniversary ring of working as a UAW worker. And when it comes to these workers and me having the position I have from my mother line as a priest, a Vadum priest entering into the Order of Melchizedek, I am the only graduate right now of the Galactic Council Melchizedek School of Priesthood. I'm the only one. Now go back and find out who the other two was prior, and then you'll be on my level when you know who that is. This has to be corrected. I gotta do it. In the interest of justice, fairness, and balance, I gotta fix it. Ain't nobody else here to fix it. I'm the one sent. Like it, don't like it. Accept it, don't accept it. You can't change it. Until the people realize that I'm the only one can fix it, they'll be running around chasing their tails in confusion. I'm gonna fix it when y'all wake up. Because this is the only way we gonna ascend. If y'all don't wake up, you won't ascend, but everybody that wake up gonna handle their business. This is time for everybody that look like me to stop fighting y'all each other. Let's lay it down the way it's supposed to be laid down. I done went in and got all of this shit. I got 360 spiritual keys, 360 earthly keys. I answered all the questions of all the masters. I solved all the riddles. I did it all. I'm the master of the day of judgment. And anybody that came through me passed judgment. We have been judged so that you can be free. So if the worker understand what I'm telling you, the supporter of the worker activate the mastermind effect. All we have to agree, just say, I agree every worker should be treated fairly and compensated justly for his work. Because the book say, for each man according to his work, and to each man according to his deed shall he be rewarded. So if a person work, he should get what he earned. He ain't asking for no extra. He ain't asking for you to give him. No, the worker don't mind Mary Bear making all that money. They don't care. If they have a CEO that represent the people, like she do, y'all gonna find out that she was doing these lowball offers to protect the interests of the worker. She come from a working class background. Go and investigate. Right? And Michael and James on board, they understand the struggle and what we are trying to get past. When the people take the survey gonna tell when the people ready. It's just that simple. When 100 UAW workers take it, it's just gonna start taking off. Everybody gonna start taking it. And we are trying to attain what you call critical mass awareness of the populace of the people. It's critical mass awareness of the populace of the people. The more people understand that this is the time to balance the scales of justice and say, I agree to balance the scales of justice at every level, it's over. It's over. Balance this shit. I'm going to do it for the auto workers out the gate because that's the canary in the cave. That's the red alert that justice has arrived and all wickedness must flee. Right? So the survey is not difficult. It's only 8 questions. The first column is agree. The second column is disagree. These are tentative talking points to open the negotiations. That's all they are. The workers will be instructed on how to assemble and get a reasonable, extensive contract, but only the chairmen will be in the negotiating committee from all of the locals. We will not be using international sellout committees. They out of there. So the new negotiating committee is going to be directly the chairman of every local. So every local going to know when they send their chairman down, it's not going to be no secret. The chairmans are going to elect a spokesperson from among themselves that's going to speak up for the people. We're not using no outsiders anymore to negotiate our contracts. When the people understand what's being done, we lay it down, and then they're going to give us everything we ask for. They're going to give us everything we ask for because we already own that shit. That's what y'all not getting. If I own it, you own it. We already own that shit. That's why I took controlling stock shares with my inheritance. I took controlling stock shares so everybody can get a fair cut of the pie. None of that big eye little you shit. That shit over with. Right? All we got to do is agree to balance the scales at every level. We tired of this bullshit. We tired of the racism, the sexism. We tired of the hate, political divide, religious unrest. For what? Ignorance. That's what. To enforce ignorance. So now, what do you do and where do we go from here? If this video and this survey goes viral in 24 hours, the strike will cease. All 3 CEOs will appear in Orion Assembly to balance the contract on the news openly. It'll be live. And they don't have to satisfy me. They go to kicker. I just offered 8 starting points. 8. That's just to get us on the same page. Because y'all don't even know what International was offering. That's not acceptable. So you start with the people. How y'all doing? I'm not being rude. I'm just... So you start with the people. And you let the people know where their power is. But if you don't know how to use power, it's useless. We got the power. The people got me. And I, being the graduate of the Melchizedek priesthood, gives me first claim of right to everything on earth. Right? And I'm the type of person that I think that the wealth ought to be shared. Because Mama said that the greedy will starve out the needy. I ain't greedy, and I don't believe in starving people out. So we're going to put an end to the greed of the greedy. That corporate greed to suck all that money out the people's mouth. People want to just live their life. Don't nobody want no extravagant bullshit. They just want to live their life how they want to live it. Some people want to live lavish, some people don't. Everybody got a different level. Everybody got a different degree. Let everybody live their life unrestricted. But don't take your position of power and abuse the people. Because then you got to bring up somebody like me that it could get bad fast if the people not treated fair. It can get bad fast when the people not treated fair. And so we had to figure out a way around this beast. These imposters, these invaders that came in, which will be another video for another time. Right now I'm focused on the workers. So here's what you do. Share this video. Take the survey and share it. And we can end the contract in 24 hours. And all 3 CEOs will be in Orion, Michigan, prepared to compensate the workers justly and fairly. This is already decided that we'll do it if the people can come together and want change, a positive change. That's why we didn't do it with bullets and bombs this time. That's why we didn't do it with bullets and bombs. That's just more bullets and bombs to come. Right? Live by the gun, you die by the gun. This the peaceful way. Play it by their rules, but win their game. Know their rules better than they know their rules. So I learned their rules. Play their game better than they play their game. So I outplayed their game. I won. I took all the tests and I passed. In street terms, that would make me the baddest motherfucker ever born. It's the simplest way to put it. They not going to keep mistreating the people. It's just as simple as that. Then when you share the video, attach to it the survey after you take it. Make it go viral. Watch the strike end in 24 hours. If this video go viral, the strike will end in 24 hours, and Mary Barra would announce her, Mike, and James will be down there at Orion to adjust the contract on behalf of the people. We'd already told y'all, all of the ones in the know that know how to read the signs already understand what I'm talking about. But those who have not attained that level to understand the signs and how to read them, this is what you call coup de grace in French, or what they would call the Great Conquest in English, what they would call the Great Armageddon in religion. This is the grand finale, the big conclusion to this evil shit. I had to be the one to take all of the tests and pass it. I did not expect to be the man. I just thought I was going to be the help. Shit. I probably wouldn't have did it if I thought I was going to be the man. I thought I was going to be the help. Because I like to help a motherfucker, but goddamn, no motherfucker going to help me. That's a bad position to be in, to be the man. The motherfucker that want to help everybody, but don't nobody want to help. That motherfucker. That's me, but I don't want to be that. That's fucked up shit. You the baddest motherfucker. Want to help everybody, but don't nobody want to help you. Fuck, what kind of shit is that? Wow. 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 I didn't want to be the man. I couldn't help it that I was just that goddamn good. That they couldn't, I was unfuckwittable. I couldn't help that. That wasn't my fault. I got that from my mama. Or my daddy. Or my mama. Or my daddy. I don't know. Maybe a combination of the two made me unfuckwittable. But watch what happened when this video go viral. When this shit go viral, Mary Barra gonna say we're gonna beat him down there in the to Orion Assembly Plant, and we're gonna fix the contract, and we're gonna compensate the people. Auto workers understand Mary Barra is down for the worker. I made contact with her months ago. We know what's up. They already know what's up. They know who to talk to. So y'all can leave me on the sideline, and y'all got the baddest motherfucker ever born that own this shit fighting for the worker. Y'all can leave me on the sideline. Y'all can just go on and win this shit by the end of the week. That's your options. Use me, win by the end of the week. Don't use me, and I don't know what the hell gonna happen. I can sit sideline and know nothing happen, or use me, be over the end of the week. I'm just saying. I don't know what's gonna happen. Y'all, I'm here. I'm the baddest motherfucker ever born. I know all the laws. I'll tell y'all what to do. I can show it to you in the books. I can give you all the references you asked for. Yep. Took me 35 and a half years to get them goddamn references built up. That's why Hiram had to take 35 years to be raised. He had to have enough references to reference the reference that he gave your ass. Because y'all don't believe fat meat greasy. This is the grand finale. So, I'm going to go over it again. All three CEOs are holding out in favor of the worker. The worker will be justly compensated when the worker understands that a single voice, as we the people, from all workers across this country, we all have to be willing to get justly compensated for our work. Everybody will be part of a workers' union. There will be no more of that right to work bullshit to undermine the rights of the people to work and to protest unfair wages, health care, and other benefits that we may not currently be aware we will need in the future. We can't have that. Or we might as well just go back to 1772 and start back having slaves. This is not going to happen no more. It's my watch now. And the corporations will not suffocate the man, the little man. He will not suffocate the people, you know. And so I'm gonna end this video here. I'm gonna repost it with the survey attached, and let somebody can put it into the comment section. You need the survey. Somebody can put it in and just write all caps survey here, and everybody will know it's there, and they'll take it from here. But the survey is the thermometer that's measuring the temperature of the unity. Blow that motherfucker up. Blow it up. Make that motherfucker start spinning numbers so fast I can't even count how many people on there. But I'm going to tell you this. Where there is no unity, there's damn near guaranteed destruction. I'll tell you that. Where there is no unity, there will be destruction. Because we can't have this. People done suffered long enough. They done suffered long enough. This is the end of the suffering right here. Right? So, like, share, everybody that's watching. If it's 10 people watching, if you share with 10 people, how many people is that? And tell each one of them to share with 10 people. You know, that's the running thing. Each one teach one that we all might reach some. And when you get down there, young lady gotta come with the signing bonus, because I know she's gonna be fair to both the company and the worker. She knows what she is. She knows what she's supposed to do. She gonna do her part. She's doing the math right now, trying to figure out a fair and balanced signing bonus, which will be also, I'm gonna throw in there back pay for the strike. So I mean, all of the people that was on strike, the $250 that the union paid you, y'all keep that, and then the company gonna pay you 40 hours for the whole week that you was off. But y'all gotta get on the same page. Stop fighting the one that own this shit. I'm trying to get you your money. If you don't want your money and you don't want to be compensated, then don't worry about it. Just quit. But if you want what's yours, I'm here to get it. I own that shit. Yes. Thanks, Portia. You the bomb. So I got to end right here because I don't want to make it too long where it could discourage people from listening. So that's a wrap.